And you could hear that last punch too. I mean, it sounded like bones were breaking in that
Oh yeah, yeah, it's all shattered.
from knowing what happened to him and him pissing blood for about a few weeks or whatever.
Oh yeah,
It
right.
tells a story. I mean, it kind of
And his whole right eye was shattered. They had to reconstruct that whole right eye.
and a lot of people they don't know all this how damaged he really was.
Yeah, between life and death. Never before, never after did a doctor call a referee. Doctors called me and said, "You saved his life. One more punch, he would have been dead."
What did the athletic commission at that time in Nevada think of that stoppage? Did anybody come at you different or think that you did the wrong thing?
No, but they held back and they didn't know. They had mixed feelings. They didn't know. They're always scared of the public making a bad name for the state or whatever. They were more scared of being right than they was did I do the right thing.
That red light that was lighting up in the corners at that time, how they used to have it. Why did people make a big stink about that?
No, that red light don't make a difference. See, you'll be cheating if you look and see that red light and you say, okay, I can let it go because it's only 10 seconds. You're cheating. That's all it is. You're cheating. That red light don't supposed to make a difference because when a guy gets in that condition, the fight is over. You don't say, oh yeah, he's in a bad condition and he might die, but only got 3 seconds to live. I can let it go. When you say that you can let it go, you are taking away and robbing other kids. Once a fighter gets in that condition where he don't know where he's at and he can't talk, he can't walk, the fight is over. I don't care if it's 10 seconds or 20 seconds left or whatever.
It's taking away your focus from the fight itself. Right?
Yes. It's for everybody else. And it shouldn't be for the referee. It should be maybe for the corner people to get ready to get in there or you know what I'm saying?
Or the audience to know, or the audience
to know that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But not for the referee. And plus, you're cheating. You're cheating. You say, oh, I can let it go because there's only 10 seconds left. When a fighter gets in that position, no matter if it's 10 seconds in the first round or 10 seconds in the last round, the fight, when he gets in that condition, the fight is over.
Did that particular fight and decision, did it affect you in any way?
Oh, man. At the beginning, it affected me negative. But over the years and...
By that, do you mean the public or...
Yeah, public. Not me, myself, because I believe in whatever I did. I believe it to the day I died, I did the right thing. And as a matter of fact, if I wanted to really do something for that kid, I should have stopped the fight in the 6th round. He wouldn't have took a beating like he did.
That's true, especially knowing what condition he's in. And most of that, in my opinion, has to do with that particular fight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's a definite yes.
Now, obviously, Chavez was happy with his victory there, and he, of course, loved you probably after that fight. Now, later on down the road, let me throw another fight at you, Chavez, Randall, the first one where he loses his first fight ever. Now, all of a sudden, he switched his decision on what he thought of you. What do you remember about that fight?
Good you. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe a person would change like that. I could not believe it. Here's a guy get his ears boxed back, and Randall just, really did a number on him.
Was that an easy fight to do, or is that hard?
Yeah, it was easy. It wasn't me that beat him. It was Frankie Randall. And you know what he had done? He had been partying and everything and took the kid too light, and he got beat. But, he really hated me then.
He blamed you for that, I think it was a low blow that you had taken off about the 11th round or so.
Yeah.
And he felt that's what costed him the decision. It was obvious on the low blow that it was. Of course, afterwards, while they were showing him the replay, he was still saying it wasn't, that you guys they had been hitting each other like that all night. But then again, you're not the one that gave the decision.
Yeah, no, I was okay with it, I was just, I thought I had a friend, but I see that he really wasn't, for many years we didn't speak. He just spoke to me. I was refereeing his son's fight. The first time I had been close to him enough to speak to him, and he said, "Oh, forget about yesterday. I'm happy now. So I guess we kind of patched things up."
Being a referee, are you allowed to have boxing friends, or do you have to? Is there like some kind of code that you have to stay away from?
Yeah, you should stay away from fighters. You should stay away from fighters and managers and trainers. Anyone that is active, you shouldn't be running around having drinks with them and everything, because pretty soon you're gonna do one of their fights and you're gonna get a black eye from it.
Has there been a lot of times where you've been confronted in the ring, like yelling at you about a decision you might have done?
Oh, well, there's been several times, yeah, several times. But that comes with the territory.
You were a boxer yourself, so you can also bite back if they try to bite you, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people had said that you had some kind of friendship or something with Don King and his fighters. What do you say to people that think that?
No, that's bull. Don King, he never done nothing for me. He's never done nothing. Never done nothing for me. I don't even know him that well, but other than speak to him, shake his hand, never had a drink with him, never had anything to do with him, and his fighters especially. So, they live in a different atmosphere than I do,
In all your years as a referee or someone involved in the game, and please be honest as you can with this answer, is there a lot of corruption, whether it be with referees or other officials in the sport? Is there a lot of corruption and a lot of that going on?
No, referees don't have, referee don't mean nothing. Referee don't have a chance to do nothing,
How about in all the other officials, like judges and all that? Do you feel there's a lot of that?
There's a couple, that you,
Suspect.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, judges, but it's not enough money. It's not enough money, and that's why it's not. They don't pay a whole lot of money, and thank God they don't, because there'll be so many crooked guys trying to get in there.
But because there's hardly any money, wouldn't that be more reason to take a bribe?
No. You got to work your way up there. How you gonna work your way up there just for one bribe? No, you're gonna spend 20 years to look for one, or 10 years. Let's say 10 years to get one bribe. Don't make sense, and you ain't gonna never get the chance anyway.
What do you think of referees today? Do you think it was the same as the referees in your era, or are they different now?
The referees today are good referees. They about the same. But the referees today are really more qualified. They make them study more. It's not all about who you are or where you come from.
And if it was your job, if somebody threw it on your lap and said, it's your job to clean up boxing, how would you start doing something like that?
Clean up boxing? What's wrong with it?
Okay, so you feel there's nothing wrong with the sport?
No.
With all the big name referees in your era, like Joe Cortez, Carlos Padilla, Judge Mills Lane, Mitch Halpern, etc., you're easily at the top of the list there as one of the best. Were any of those your friends, and what do you think of those guys?
Yeah, all of them my friends. They always my friends, man, We never had nothing against each other. We wouldn't get the assignment for this time, but for the next time we would get the assignment. So, you'd be mad for a little while, but, after a while, you forget about it and you wait for the next assignment.
And how's Judge Mills Lane doing?
Nobody knows. We can't get no information on it.
And what did you think of Mitch Halpern?
Mitch Halpern was like a son of mine. I trained him how to referee.
From what I heard is that he was having domestic problems, and that's how, he did what he did to himself.
He didn't kill himself.
Would you say that refereeing job that he did where Jimmy Garcia had passed, do you think that had something to do with that, or that was in the back of his head during that time too?
No. I always felt that someone killed Mitch.
Actually, I talked to Gabriel Relis, and we talked in detail about the Jimmy Garcia incident. And, of course, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, remember the guy that refereed his assignment also with when there was that casualty with Dooku Kim. He did the same and committed suicide. Did you ever have a casualty in one of your fights that you refereed?
No. I'm the safety guy, you see? I'm the safety guy, so I never had nothing like that happen.
And that's a very good thing. But how do you think you would have taken it if something like that would have happened?
If someone died?
Right. How do you think you would have reacted, or do you think you would have been able to go on with your
Who
job?
knows? Who knows? You never know until something like that happens.
And is there any case or any fights that you've had where later on down the line you say, you know what, maybe I should have done this, and maybe the decision I did for this particular fight,
No,
no changes of decision?
no, no.
You were up in the Jack Johnson pardon, and you addressed Capitol Hill on that issue. Why was that important for you to do?
To do whatever I could do to rectify Jack Johnson, they railroaded him. They didn't do him right. To make sure that he would clear his name. That's what we was after.
One of my favorite documentaries of all time was that documentary, Unforgivable Blackness, The Rise and Fall of Jack Johnson. It's about 3.5 hours long, give or take.
Right.
It was well done. It showed you what life was like back then in detail, and especially about this great boxer of the past. Since then especially, I've been a huge Jack Johnson fan. I didn't know you were part of this committee until earlier. What happened there, and what do you remember about that?
Well, it was great to be a part of it. It was great to see so many people that really felt the same way that you did. To be in Washington, D.C., and, be at the place where we was at, on top of the hill, and, to be a part of history. It was great.
Now, was that pardon, did that have to do with crossing the state line with the white woman?
Yes.
You also received an award from the great Nelson Mandela. What does that mean to your personal life or career?
Very much. Nelson, Mr. Mandela, he loved boxing. He was an amateur boxer himself. When he was in prison for 18 years, he couldn't watch. He didn't see no boxing. And they would just tell him about, some of the great fights like Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Aguinaldo. Those are the ones that he missed. So when he got out, they got him all the fights, let him take his time, so he can see some of the great fights that he missed. And he had asked me to come to South Africa to share his birthday with him. And we was WBC convention was at the same time, and so they set it up for me to be able to meet him and have dinner with him.
What are you up to now? What does Mr. Richard Steele do nowadays?
I run a club for kids. I have over 250 kids in my club, and it's a boxing club plus mixed martial arts. And we have a great time trying to build these kids up to be respectable young people and to finish school. And we focus on education. We have a great time here with the kids, and a lot of them came a long way. I tell you, that's what I'm doing. I spend most of my time here at the gym from 10 o'clock, from 10:30 to 7 o'clock.
And a lot of people don't realize that something boxing does is it brings discipline to children. That's why a lot of people put kids in boxing programs or whatnot, and it does show them discipline. Or don't you agree with that?
Oh, yes, definitely.
And once it's all said and done, Richard, how would Richard Steele like to be remembered?
Richard Steele would love people to remember him as a person that cared for everyone, that did his best, came from nothing, made something out of himself, and was a self-made man with God.
And God bless you, Richard. Thank you for doing this.
Okay, no, that's no problem. No problem. The interview was great. Thank you so much.
I've always wanted to talk to a third man in the ring. I have, and not only that, probably the best one in my lifetime, in my era. And I'm glad you brought into detail all these fights and what it was like to be a third man in those rings. And I thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much for having me and interviewing me. And you're a wonderful spokesperson for humanity, and I really appreciate everything that you had to say. Thank you.